Welcome to another video blog of Journey to the Last Frontier. Today we're going to be talking about how to pick a fishing guide. If you've never fished with a professional guide before, or if you're going to a new place and you want to research a guide, this is a great how-to video. I have been fishing with professional guides for the better part of 20 years. There's a lot of pros and cons to fishing with guides, mostly pros. So, a couple of things here. Typically, in an average year, I will fish about 10 to 12 professionally guided trips. Most of them local, where I live here in South Florida, and most of them with guides I have established long-term relationships with and actually consider not just guides but fishing buddies or friends. Um, so, first thing to do when going to a new location or deciding you're going to fish with a guide is obviously you have to do your homework. You know, certainly TripAdvisor and Google are they are what they are. Let's put it that way. You'll find what other people think, and you'll see the best photos of the biggest fish, whatever that size may be, on their websites, which is all good, okay? But a key to understanding that is also delve into what it is that they're doing. What is the experience the guide is providing? Anybody can take you out on a boat and put you on fish if they're there. Sometimes they're not. And I have gone with my go-to guides, and some days we don't catch anything, and we just joke about it, and it is what it is. It's fishing, not catching. Okay, but certainly follow forums, fishing reviews, ask people, bait and tackle shops, hotel concierge if you're going to a place you've never been before. So those are kind of the ways to start doing your research. Also, if you're looking locally, you can certainly go to the marina when the boats come in and kind of get a feel for that. I've done that quite a bit in Key Biscayne and in Isla Morada. Go to the marina and actually check out the boats as they come in. A real important thing is know what it is that you want to fish for. Target species or specialization is really important in choosing a guide. You know, if you are targeting a particular type of fish, you have to go with the guide in the season that those fish are available. You know, you're not going to go bone fishing or tarpon fishing when they're not running, okay? And you're certainly not going to go with a guide that only specializes in offshore if you're targeting inshore species such as bonefish, tarpon, or snook. Secondly, some guides only do fly fishing. Some only use bait, okay? Some mix it up. So these are keys to know to make sure that you have an enjoyable trip and one that gives you the best chance to catch the fish the way you want to catch them. Fly, lures, artificials, bait, or what have you. Obviously, freshwater, a lot of that is going to be fly fishing, and the species that are running in those rivers, brown trout, brook trout, rainbow trout, and so on, or lakes, bass, largemouth, smallmouth, really depending on what it is. So you have to kind of get an understanding of what it is you want to target, the season you're going in, and clearly what the specialization of the fishing guide is. Another key element is when you're looking at their photo galleries, especially if you're bringing kids, see how the kids do. Okay, kids should be catching fish, and they should be having fun. And guides that post a lot of pictures of kids with fish are a good indication that they really know how to take care of novice anglers and certainly families with children. Once you decided that you're going to fish with a professional guide and you've kind of narrowed that search down to one or even two guides, build a rapport online. Email the guide, call him. As an example, my upcoming trip in Alaska, which is 2 months away, I have been in contact with the guides that I have already booked for better part of a year. I have followed them on social media. I've emailed them questions. I have talked to a couple of them on the phone, even. So I've already built a rapport without having actually fished with them. That's how confident I feel going into it. They understand that I've never been to Alaska. I've never fished those rivers. I am a novice in their area, and I'm taking their lead by asking a lot of questions. And in this give and take of email and questions, there's been a couple of guides that I have actually eliminated from my consideration because it wasn't the right fit for what I wanted to do and the services they provided. Now, they're great guides. They've had amazing reviews, big photo albums online, not the right fit for what I want to do. And that's very key. Know what you want, ask those questions, email the guides back and forth. They'll gladly will respond to you. Word of note, they spend most of their time on water, offline, off grid. They may not get to you the same day or the next day, but they will get to you. And it's really important to build that rapport with a new guide way before the trip. You get asked all kinds of questions: species, target, specialization, gear. I typically bring my own gear. I don't rely on the guide's gear. Most of them have amazing professional gear. I'm comfortable with my own stuff. I let them know I'm bringing it, and they're usually very fine with that. The only gear I'm not bringing to Alaska will be the offshore gear that I'll need for halibut. Just not really have a need to invest hundreds or thousands of dollars in gear I'm not going to use more than one trip. The other thing that's really important is follow them on social media. See how what they post. Not every day is going to have great pictures of big fish. A good guide, an excellent guide, will also talk about on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatnot, the average days, the so-so days, the less than average days, the days they skunk out, days that the weather sucks, things like that. That you are out in a wild environment and things happen, and it's critical that you get a feel for how your guide deals with that, because you don't know what the weather is going to be 6, 8, 9 months out from when you book. And a couple of other tips. Remember, it's fishing, not catching. You know, the guide can hold world records. I fish actually with two guides. One holds a world record, and the other guide has had people catch world records on his boat. Okay, but some days we catch nothing. It's just the way it is. And I've fished with both of these for more than a decade each. Remember it, leave a review. Even if you don't catch what you really wanted to, you know, it's not necessarily the guide's fault. Sometimes it is the fisherman's fault. I have been at fault. My guide, I'm in a hunt for the last 5, 6 years to get a backcountry grand slam. That's a bonefish, tarpon, permit in the same day. I have failed every time I've gone out there. Not because of the guide. It could be weather related. It could also be me. I have actually have had a chance at that, and I've dropped fish, got nervous, dropped the fly rod, scared off a school of permit, and that was my shot at the triple grand slam that particular day. Leave good reviews, okay? Also, it's important to leave a tip. Typically, even if it's a guide slash owner, I typically give 15 to 20%, sometimes more, never really less. It's important, and if you're on a charter boat with a captain and a crew, obviously you have to do that as well. If you pick the right guide, you will have a fishing partner with you through thick and thin. He or she will help you, will get you on fish, and you'll have a great time. And in the long run, you'll actually spend less money than if you go to fishing lodges, buy a boat, rent a boat, all of that. A good guide will put you on fish consistently. Not 100% of the time, obviously, but consistently will give you that shot for some trophy fish as well as days where the rod just bends like crazy and you're in double, triple digits on your target species. Well, that's all I have to say on how to pick a fishing guide. I do have a blog on that. The link will be in the description, and please subscribe so you can get these videos sooner rather than later.